Today we are in Matebeleland South, and this is the first of our many stops where we've seen a very mixed enterprise, focusing on livestock, a good beef herd, some goats, but also an enterprising horticulture project. The main thrust here is market-led production. This is an enterprise. It is the market that then informs production. This farmer, a very enterprising farmer, has taken advantage of proximity to Beitbridge, but also proximity to the road in Bulawayo to create this ecosystem of demand for his products, which is why the butternut in the background is already sold before it is harvested. So this is the message, and most important one, for this budding horticulture industry in Zimbabwe, where we are growing it twofold. We are growing horticulture through this conventional private sector farmer-led growth, but we also have an enterprising state-led presidential rural development program that looks at village business units, which also focus on horticulture in order to build a $1 billion industry by 2028, 2030 from the current 200 million. So we're very pleased to be here. The target for maize one was 1.8 million hectares. As of yesterday, we're done 1.786 million hectares, 99% of the target. We've now started the first round of crops, livestock and fisheries assessment coordinated by Zimstats. We think with this additional planting, we'll be able to surpass the area target. In terms of the outlook of the crop, over 65% of our crop is at vegetative stage and looking very good. About 20% is at late vegetative, and the balance is still at germinating level. When we're looking at Beitbridge, we see that because of the erratic early rains, we lost some crops, but there was massive replanting. And for those that are continuing to plant, we say they must look at ultra early traditional grain varieties, because this is region 5. But generally, the crop condition throughout the country, in Mashonaland provinces, Manicaland, Masvingo, and here in Mad South, is looking very good. So we are well on our way to ensure that this country has enough to feed itself and also to replenish the strategic grain reserve. The focus must be on better agronomics in terms of weeding, fertilizer application, split application of fertilizer, so because there is leaching, but also scouting for pests and diseases, especially fall armyworm and African armyworm. Certainly we are coming from the worst drought in 43 years. First, I must thank farmers for their resilience. We have lost fewer cattle. When we were doing planning, we anticipated that 50% of the 5.7 million cattle will be at risk from drought. We have only lost less than 1% of our cattle to drought. So we thank farmers for heeding the government message to destock in order to save the rest of the cattle, but also to adhere to this Ward Drought Mitigation Center establishment. As we go into the rest of the season, the rains are predicted to be normal to above normal by the Met Department, so we think there will be very good pastures this season. So farmers must take advantage and ensure that they cut hay. Government is going to be assisting farmers in Matebeleland South, Matebeleland North, Midlands and Masvingo by availing some tractors and balers so that during April to June they are able to cut hay and prepare for the next dry season for supplementation. They must also adhere to the advice that they are given by their livestock production and development and agri-tax officers in terms of urea treatment of stover, to ensure that they have enough supplementation for their livestock. But the epicenter of all this is the view that livestock, irrespective of scale, communal, smallholder or largeholder, must be viewed as a business. The new title deed program, which is revolutionary, and the president in compliance with sections 289, 292, 293 and 295 of the Constitution of 2013 is ensuring that a more secure title is given. That secure title is a title deed, which will motivate farmers to invest on their farms, which will allow the farmers to collateralize their land in order to borrow from the banks. So there will be a land market for the farmers that have been given this land. And we have been looking at the terms for the payment, which are so generous to an extent that every farmer will be sufficiently motivated to opt to purchase their land so that they can bequeath this to the next generations. This is the most secure tenure, and especially for the gallant liberation